Hello everyone, welcome to your second royal reading today here at MadWorldTarot. I still have the Desperate Housewives Tarot on the tarot table and looking at Meghan and her finances and her attempts at making lots and lots of money, or even in this case tiny bits of money. And this is about rumours and speculation that Meghan Markle has been selling her clothes for cash on sites like eBay under anonymous accounts for quite a long time. That eBay rumour has been around for a long time. The Sidley twins, I think it was the Sidley twins, apologies if it wasn't them, came up with a theory quite recently that Meghan might be quite active on Poshmarkle, which of course I'm going to call Poshmarkle, selling her clothes on, under anonymous accounts. And they've traced back, or whoever it was, I think it was them, traced back to about 2015, which is around about the time some people speculate she met the has-been. Interesting that the clothes are all clothes that she's worn pre-Harry, during her royal time, subsequent to being a royal, California time, in other words. And all stuff she's actively worn and posed in, been papped in. So it seems to be a bit of a, shall we call it a grift? I think we can in this context, and it is speculative, of course, but the sizes seem to work out as well. Very specific items of clothing. The clothes all extra small, the shoes all extra large. My joke, not theirs. So we're going to have a look at this little story. We're going to ask about her finances. We're doing a lot of reading on finances at the moment. It's a thing at the moment, I suspect, and that's why, of course, has-been had to pop up in China and give that silly speech that he made, because that's how you get paid. You can bang on about climate change and fly in your private jet to Shanghai and give a speech and get $1 million or whatever he got. I don't know, I'm speculating. But times are tough in Montecito. You've got a grift. And maybe you got to sell your clothes on Poshmark. Maybe. And some of them were interestingly crumpled, that were sourced by, the internet sleuths. There are so many internet sleuths. It's all rather amusing. And of course, this is just tarot, and it is for fun and entertainment and hopefully amusing. And we just read energy here. We just look at rumors and gossip, and I just express my opinion and I speculate wildly. And there is a disclaimer in the box below. We're going to have a look at this. We're going to ask about Meghan's finances. We are going to ask if this is her main grift, basically merching and selling clothes, second-hand clothes. We're going to ask if she did this while she was a working royal. And we're going to ask if she's going to pivot into fashion. She has warned us that that's what's coming next, telling us that jam's no longer her jam, but fashion just might be her thing. Is she going to pivot into fashion sort of officially? And how will that go if she does? And yeah, Page of Pentacles, deal or no deal. That's the card, contracts. Page of Pentacles, all about contracts, all about money, all about merching, all about negotiating and all that stuff. So there we are, quite simple. Page of Pentacles, we're talking about merching. Page of Pentacles shows up as our underlying energy. There we go. How about our actual story there, the heart of this matter? We get another page, and we get Page of Wands, and it's in reverse. This is a bad news card when it's in reverse. Upright, it's adventure and excitement and new things and good news and good PR. It's in reverse. So all of that is in reverse. Getting bad press. Life not really working out how she hoped it would. Always quite adventurous. I would even describe her as an adventurer, in my opinion, because her life seems to be always on the lookout for a new opportunity. or a new person as a new opportunity, and that might include moving country or traveling, even nautically, to find new opportunities, new ways of pushing herself forward or climbing that greasy pole. So there we have it, Page of Wands. Things are going very well for Madame in Montecito, according to the cards anyway. Just an energy reading, of course. So let's ask how her financial situation is currently. We keep asking that question. Oh my goodness, and we get a very familiar card, because if you've watched the previous reading, and thank you very much if you did, the Nine of Swords showed up there for the has-been. His financial situation, Nine of Swords, worry, sleepless nights, tossing and turning. What are we going to do? What am I going to do? Because times are tough and the money isn't coming in, the money is flooding out. I get very vividly that the money is just roaring out. Wow. I'm actually stunned. I'm stunned to see that card. Same question, same card showing up, same tarot deck. Two side-by-side readings. This really tells me I've been watching the Parkour Finances for a long time, and it's kind of circled the drain, but from very far out, circling the drain. We're now getting to the drain. Just saying, my opinion. And wow. Is selling clothes on these sorts of sites, not only Poshmark, not only eBay, apparently, allegedly, I think we need one of those. Is this alleged selling of clothing what she's now doing to bring in cash? I want to call it petty cash. Wow, we've got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It could be. It could well be in this energy. We're speculating, of course, but the Knight of Pentacles upright is a solid, dependable card. Is you're doing okay. You're heading in the right direction. This is in reverse. It's very unstable. It's very erratic. It tells me that Harry, he's the Knight of Pentacles. Harry isn't bringing home the bacon, so to speak. Harry has cost them a lot of money recently with his foolish, frivolous lawsuits. Times are tough. Times are tough in Montecito. And I'm asking, is this what she's doing to make up the shortfall in the finances? It looks like it, because Knight of Pentacles in reverse is shortfall in finances, that your income is so erratic that you have to do, girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. And if she started this 10 years ago, when she was possibly being written out of suits and she was looking over the Atlantic, over the pond, as they say, to the UK for a footballer or somebody like that, she got rid of Trev, who was not earning enough money, not making her famous enough. He married a billionaire's daughter. Well done, Trevor. She could just be, this is like a side hustle. I'm getting anxious as I'm doing this reading. Energy. I'm just reading energy. As I always say, and it's true, I'm getting anxious. Nine of Swords energy, Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Where's that next check coming from? Where's the next deal? Page of Pentacles. Oopsie daisy, as they say. Did she have a little side hustle? I'm wording it carefully. Allegedly, while she was a working royal. Any of that going on then? Ooh, the star. Yeah. The star is, it's just, I'm so famous and I'm going to be so brilliant. And you're all just going to be falling over yourselves to get what I've got. That's how it's reading for me with the star. It's celebrity, unfortunately. Lovely card. Normally means beautiful things like faith and hope and healing and purpose and the soul. and being divinely inspired and all of that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, we're down in the material realm now, where we're ruled by mostly Old Scratch. And in these readings, he hasn't shown up so far. What a pity. He saves it for very special occasions. The Star. I think that the energy, I'm going to be charitable. I'm going to be charitable. I think that the Star tells me that she just was reveling in being a star. We know she burned her way through an enormous amount of money buying designer clothes in that first year that she was in the royal family, to the extent that Charles said, I can't afford to keep her anymore. She outspent all the other royal women, not just in the British royal family, but in the European royal families. And some of them are big spenders, like in Monaco. You know, she went large with her spending. I think that's what it's telling us. It's not telling me a Seven of Swords energy, which would be shady kind of stuff. I think she just absolutely reveled in access to high-end stuff that she'd only dreamed about. She had her Sayonara Zara party where she gave away all her Zara stuff, and then it was all haute couture after that. Thank you very much. So okay, okay, so we're going to give her a pass on that one, and we're going to say no, she didn't do any of that. Okay, that's just how the cards are reading. You might disagree, and you might disagree quite vehemently, but I'm just telling you what's shown up on the tarot table with that Star card and how I'm choosing to read that energy. How about this fashion brand that she's contemplating? She's taking a step back from the exhausting world of commercialism to think about whether she's going to launch a fashion brand. Tell us about that. What's going on there? We got the King of Pentacles in reverse. That's Harry again. Harry is sitting under the Nine of Swords. Harry's out of there. Money is out of there. If it's not Harry as King of Pentacles, out of there in reverse, with his access to ginormous sums of money thanks to Par and the Bank of Par, it's investors, it's deals. Page of Pentacles, it's deals like with Netflix or a huge brand that would come along and invest in something that she had. She doesn't have backers. And I know there's always been suspicion that she's had backers, and I know conspiracy theory kind of backers who are trying to bring down the royal family and usher in the New World Order and all of that. And I'm sounding flippant, doesn't mean I don't believe some of that stuff. But we're in tarot for fun and entertainment, so I sound flippant most often on this channel. But she hasn't got backers. She will only do this if she can find money from someone to actually make it happen. How would it go if she actually tried to do this, bearing in mind that her fashion choices are the subject of endless ridicule? How would it go? Oh dear, no, it wouldn't go very well. It would be a tragic tale. She'd have to walk away from it. Eight of Cups. It would be sad. It would be a failure. It would be very disappointing for her. I think very tragic for her. Very tragic. No, it would be tragic for her, because it would be something that she really had set her heart on. Cups are emotions. She believes she's a fashion icon. She's tried to make that happen. She's tried to convince us of that over and over and over and over. But she'd actually have to give it up, like she's given everything up. It would fail. Hardly surprising, but it's interesting that the tarot is so adamant about it, and how painful it would be for her if this were to fail. I don't think she cares so much about the jam not being her jam, because she doesn't really like jam. She's told us that. She hates baking. She hardly ever cooks. She's got the frozen stuff and, you know, in the freezer for the kids, the chicken nuggets and the whatever, the corn syrup and the all those lovely things. Diabetes on a stick, basically. But anyway, not her thing really. Hates honey as well, scared of bees. This is her thing. And according to the tarot, allegedly, it will fail. There you go. That's a reading. Thank you for watching. I might see you tomorrow. I might not. But be back after that.